Mimi, look at Mimi like dinner.
No. Yeah. That bird.
Went to see that movie called The Edge last night. They had that Mark the Bear in that church.
Hey, that's awesome.
Incredible.
I know that was real well.
Yeah. He beats up in Logan, doesn't he? The bear?
Yeah.
Beaver?
He was on the news. He was like, oh, it's pretty cool.
It is awesome.
Off the edge.
Yeah, it's great. I love Skyline too.
There we are.
We're ready to get started. Those on the swings, you're welcome to sit there, but please don't swing. Okay? If you need to sit on the trampoline, please do, but don't jump up and down until we're through, okay?
Well, as Glenn said, we'd like to get started and recognize, welcome all of you here in recognition of Eric and his achievements in scouting. We'd like to begin with the flag ceremony by Troop 4054, after which
Charge. Eric Pettit, I have the honor to give you the Eagle Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America of being worthy of the highest rank in this great movement. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, your country, to your fellow Scouts, and mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend for the most part on the quality of her citizens. Our country has a great past. You can help make the future even greater. I charge you, Eric, to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve, that those who know you will be inspired to finer living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you, Eric, to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on a solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others do, you will leave behind you a record of which every other scout may be justly proud. Eric, you will now rededicate yourself by repeating the Scout Oath. Repeat it slowly, resolve to hold up forever its principles with the same ambition and perseverance that has brought you this far. Repeat after me. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of scouting. One more thing is important. As an Eagle Scout, you become a member of Boy Scouts of the land. A little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would not only reflect upon you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but it is ours also. Eric, I challenge you to enter this Eagle Brotherhood, holding ever before you without reservation the ideals of honor and service, by repeating the Eagle Promise before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. Though the words you use are similar to those by which you joined Scouting, they will mean more now than they could have ever meant at any time in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout with the words which close the Declaration of Independence. Please make the Scout line and repeat after me, Eric. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance. I reaffirm my allegiance
To the pre-promises of the Scout Oath.
to the pre-promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibility of the rank of Eagle Scout.
the obligations and responsibilities of rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example,
to make my training an example,
my rank and my influence,
my rank and my influence,
count strongly for better scouting,
to count strongly for better scouting,
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop and in my community,
in my troop and in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege and privilege to pronounce you, Eric Pettit, an Eagle Scout. May the oath you have taken remain graven on your heart forever.
There, everyone be able to hear all right? Okay, I'll try and speak louder. It's a pleasure to be able to be here again as we honor Eric for becoming an Eagle Scout, following the tradition of his brothers. It's just tremendous. I hope that everyone enjoys seeing the Eagle and learning more about it, and I think that after we do, it'll make it a little clearer why the Eagle has been chosen. Not only to represent America, but also to represent the highest award that a young man can attain in scouting. Now, I like to let everyone know why I have this Eagle. First of all, this bird injured its wing up in Montana. I've worked with birds of prey since I was 8 years old. Currently do a show at Utah's Hogle Zoo entitled The World of Flight Show. I train and breed falcons, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service knew that I could care for an eagle. In fact, I have a golden eagle I've had for 18 years. But when this bird injured its wing, they tried to release it back to the wild after they'd doctored it up for a couple of years, but every time they released it, which was on 2 occasions, the bird just couldn't fly. And so, although it has its wing's not, it's only about 80%. And of course, being flight requires a precision movement of the wing, and this bird is unable to fly well enough to hunt, so that's why I have it. Notice I have its eyes covered right now. This is called a hood, and I use the hood to keep the bird calm. It's actually a tool that dates back thousands of years to when birds of prey were first trained for hunting. Before the invention of the gun, hawks, falcons, and eagles were trained to capture other animals as food. It was called falconry, and that's where the hood was developed, and they would keep the bird hooded until they got to where they wanted to hunt them. It would protect the bird from trying to fly, and of course in my vehicle, if it were trying to fly, it would possibly injure itself. Not to mention it could be a little difficult to drive if you had it in the vehicle trying to fly. Let's remove the hood so that you can meet Liberty. Liberty is an adult female bald eagle. Now, I always wondered why they called them a bald eagle. Obviously, the bird's not bald. I found out that in Old English, the word bald means white. So when they were calling it the bald-headed eagle, they were calling it the white-headed eagle, which now makes sense. The bald eagle is unique to North America, found nowhere else in the world, so it was fitting that Congress chose the eagle to represent our nation. But not all in Congress were in agreement that the eagle should be the symbol of America. John Adams was worried that the eagle, being a predator and being so powerful, he was worried that it might send the wrong message to other nations. Excuse the eagle. There are advantages to doing these things outdoors. He was worried that the eagle would maybe send the wrong message to other nations. He wanted the dove to be the symbol of our nation because the dove is a symbol of peace. Certainly a good reason. We should always strive to be a peaceful nation. Well, if the vote were divided evenly between the dove and the eagle, I think that the eagle probably received a little more support when it was divided even further by Benjamin Franklin, who said he thought that the wild turkey should be the bird to represent America, for it had helped sustain so many early immigrants. Well, that's another good reason. We should always be thankful for our natural resources. And I'm sure that a lot of hungry immigrants use the wild turkey as a food source. But I don't think Congress could picture a turkey on top of our flag. I really don't think it would be the appropriate bird to represent our nation. I think when we think about America, we think about freedom. When we watch an eagle soaring in the sky, why, an eagle is a symbol of freedom, and that's what America is all about. Nothing soars as free as an eagle when you watch him riding the thermal. Now, this bird is 9 years old. Could live to be as old as 30, so they're quite long-lived. It's a large bird. You can see that wingspan can stretch 6 feet, and on some eagles it's even larger. When they fold up those wings and dive, why, eagles have been clocked at speeds of around 100 miles. I'll get it right, 110. You look at this bird on my arm, often most people guess its weight to be around 30 pounds, and I think that's what it looks like it would weigh. But birds are built for flight, so they're not very heavy. Their bones are hollow, the feathers are very light yet strong. And this eagle only weighs 12 pounds. But at the point of its talon, it can apply several hundred pounds of pressure. In fact, for its weight, the eagle is probably one of the most powerful wild animals on the North American continent. But eagles only use their strength to feed themselves or their families, and they really have no enemies. They soar above trouble. Now, it's true that the bald eagle became an endangered species because of problems created by mankind. But we didn't mean to be an enemy to the eagle. And when we found out what was happening, we worked hard to change. Today, bald eagles are doing much better. In fact, they're doing so well that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has officially taken the bald eagle off the endangered species list. So no longer is America's symbol in danger of extinction. That's a great accomplishment. We all need to continue this effort of conservation, for it's a challenge that we all face every day. Conservation is not a new principle for scouting, for scouting has always taught a love and a reverence for the land. And to me, an Eagle Scout is the type of person who will want to make sure that the world stays as he's known it, so that in the future he'll be able to share it with others. I got my start, and I developed an interest in these magnificent birds through the scouting program. At our den mother's house, when I was in Cubs, we had a red-tailed hawk nest in the tree. And through her dedication to scouting and devotion to teaching us, she helped us learn about these magnificent birds. And I was so taken by these hawks that nested that I, every week I was just so excited to go to the meetings, see the birds and see how they progress. And I developed an interest in staying with me throughout my life. And I can credit that it grew so large after years of use that the tree that supported it collapsed. And well, they were curious to how much that nest weighed because it was so large, so they took all the sticks and they weighed 2,000 pounds. That's a big eagle nest. Now, although that eagle nest has probably been in use for centuries, because generations of eagles will come through an area that, and if a young eagle is fledged from a nest and it comes back through that area, and it hasn't yet, as it's maturing, it comes through the area where it was raised, sees that nest unoccupied, it will take up residency there and attract a new mate. And so these eagle eyries, as they're called, stay in use for sometimes centuries, become real landmarks in certain areas. The eagle lays 1 to 3 eggs in its nest, and a little eaglet would fit right inside of this hood. Now, they're totally helpless when they hatch, and they require the assistance of their parents for food, warmth, and shelter. In fact, they're completely reliant on their parents. But they grow rapidly. It only takes them 16 weeks from the time they hatch to when they start to flap those wings and prepare for flight. And it's at this time that life becomes a real challenge for them. When they leave that nest and make their first flight, well, all they can take with them is what they've learned from watching the example of their parents. Because at this time, it's up to the young eagle to get out there and work hard and to make the right decisions. The parents really can't do any more. In nature, It's a real true test of a bird's ability to be able to be successful. It's not easy. Some eagles probably don't survive. It's only the ones that work the hardest that develop the skills necessary to become successful. So every time you see an eagle, the next time you see an eagle, remember that that bird has suffered some difficult times. It's hung in there. It's learned to be successful. And what a life it must live now, being able to soar free over America. It represents the very best. Well, in America today, as I've already stated, only a small number of young men become involved in scouting. And to accomplish this goal, well, it does say that Eric represents the very best. Well, I've always been told that Eagle Scouts are brave. Well, Eric, you've already been a little bit close to this eagle. I'd like you to come and join me again if you come stand here next to the eagle, and we'll just find out how brave he really is. Whoa, boy, she's getting hungry. Now, Eric, before I bring her up close, remember, the talons are what are really dangerous. Oh, she does bite. But if she should bite you, don't worry too much about the beak. It's the talons that are most dangerous. And if she does bite you, remember the beak's just a tool that the eagle uses to rip up other animals. Becoming an Eagle Scout is a great accomplishment. But as we've heard in the Scout Oath given to him by his brother earlier, an Eagle Scout is a good citizen. And if you think about it, not only has he attained a goal for himself, he's really helped the whole community, because every time we have another Eagle Scout in the community, it makes our community a better place. For an Eagle Scout is a man of honor. So, Eric, I want to thank you, as well as congratulate you for becoming an Eagle Scout. Becoming an Eagle Scout says something about his character. It lets us know that he's not a quitter. That's a good quality, and I admire it in a person. And Eric, remember, quitters, they never win. It's winners who never quit. Always be proud that you attained the rank of Eagle Scout, and remember everyone that helped you to accomplish this goal. You had leaders, family, and friends supporting you all the way. Remember the principles that scouting has taught you, like the Scout Oath, Scout Law, Scout Motto. Now, I know you know them, you've memorized them. We'll live by these principles and urge others to live by them. And if you'll do that, it'll help to make our world a better place. In the future, put down Eagle Scout on your resume. I know if I were interviewing and looking to hire someone and all the qualifications were equal and one of the young men was an Eagle Scout, I know who I'd hire. It'd be important. One thing I've learned, I've studied eagles since I was a young boy of about 8 years old. I spent hours sitting in blinds photographing their nests. And one thing I've learned from watching the eagle is it never seems content perched low. It's not their nature. They always soar high. That's the nature of an eagle. Make it your nature as an Eagle Scout. Well, let's see if I can get the eagle to give us a call one more time. She called earlier, but maybe a special call just for you, Eric, if we can get her to do that. Now, I'm kind of putting myself out on a limb, so I'm not sure I could make her do it, but Liberty, do you think you could do that for us? Give Eric a call. Thank you, Liberty. And what Liberty has said there is that is a charge for you to do, as you've been told in your Eagle charge earlier, and to continue to set goals and use the same principles that you used to attain the rank of Eagle Scout, apply them to new goals. And I know that you didn't accomplish this in one day. It's just some doing. But most things worthwhile do. Remember that, and remember that if you don't quit, you can accomplish anything you set your heart to. Congratulations for becoming an Eagle Scout. Now, I'd like you to just look into the eyes of this eagle for a moment. See if there's not something there in the proud look of the eagle that you can keep with you for the rest of your life as an Eagle Scout. Definitely some eagle-to-eagle eye contact going on there. And now, Eric, if you would like, I think you should let him hold the eagle. And to show his bravery, we won't let him use the glove. Over here. I held this as we did earlier. Have you support my arm up there? The eagle. There you go. Well, hand down a little bit more. You don't want to get talent in your hand. On the count of 3, I'll get the eagle to spread its wings. 1, 2, 3. I'd say that eagle looks pretty good on it. Congratulations, Eric. Good job. Give him a round of applause.